Yaki.
Buona.
Halito, siyo. Mariuka. Anski Hunterish.
Good morning and buenos dias.
Stongo. Atuska. Oshkinyecha.
Nice. I'm trying to hit all of them.
Buena.
How many languages is that?
That's the same language. No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just him proposing to Natalie every morning.
No.
Yeah.
Language.
That's the
his
language.
Yeah.
Well, good morning. Coming live from 1950 South Shepherd here in Hell Town, Hell Ghetto,
Reno.
Got a special guest on today. You know, Domingo is on a transport. You know, so we
It's finally working.
Yeah.
he's
I'm just kidding.
finally
It's
Domingo.
crazy 'cause he's never asked to say
Yeah,
that.
everybody just knows.
What would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So good morning. My name is Zachary Blackow. I am the community outreach specialist for the 988 Tribal Response Program. And I have the honor and privilege of being here with you guys today on your culture couch for your elders meditation reading. So thank y'all for having me.
Aho.
And I'll be exactly like that.
You know, if you're not familiar with, you got to know who this guy is. I mean, he's done a lot of great work in our community. You know, and he's been recognized nationally for, you know, the things, for him wanting to share his story. You know, I like his story because, you know, basically, you know, substance abuse deals with mental health. You know, we came to that point in our mental health where we didn't see any other solutions, so we turned to drugs and alcohol. I like your story because it's a healthy way of finding, you know, a purpose in your life. And with that, you know, you've been able to touch so many lives. So, you know, I just want to thank you for all the great work that you do. And, you know, I can't wait to see where that road leads you to, you know. So, you know, I've just been thinking about, you know, somebody was explaining, because, you know, my uncle's a bushy head, you know, and so they were like, are you related to Connor and Zach? I was like, well, I said, you know, it's kind of weird because my uncle was a bushy head, and then, you know, along came the Botones after him. My grandma remarried and, you know, had the Botones. I said, but that family was so good to us. It's like, you know, whenever I see them, you know what I mean? It's like seeing my family, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I was like, well, I guess Connor and Zach, something like my niece and nephew, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and, you know, I feel like that's part of like, you know, just the community we come from, you know, as we get to share those, you know, because when I see your Aunt Jessie, you know, I call her sister.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she's always been good to me. You know, I always want to just show that same type of love to, you know, the whole Bushy Head clan, you know.
Yeah,
So
I love that.
Got too many people calling you uncle.
I was like, call you uncle, but I'm like one of 1,000.
I am the uncle.
Right? If you don't have an uncle in your life,
Yeah.
find Barry Bowtown. He will fill that spot for you.
Definitely.
So no, thank you, Barry, for those words. You know, a lot of my inspiration comes from seeing what other men are out there, what they're doing, and hearing their stories. You know, connecting with people and the pain and all the things they've been able to go through and still be resilient as a Shine Rapper people. And you're one of those people I look up to. So seeing you and the way you connect with people, being there for people as a peer recovery support specialist, and especially with the audience and the people that we deal with. You know, sometimes I feel like people who suffer from substance abuse or mental health problems are forgotten about in their families. And that's something we all know is reality. So stuff like this, these elders meditations, being live, or just meeting people where they are, you know, this is something that is important. So every time you guys invite me up here, of course, when I have the time and when I'm here, I'll try to come up here.
Definitely.
And today's my first day back from my trip from Sand Creek. So I'm definitely really really happy and inspired to be here and share this with you guys. I was watching you every day I was up there.
Yeah. How was that trip to Sand Creek?
I mean, it was emotional. It was healing. It was all the above. You know, when you go on trips like that, they're not just, you know, time to get away from the office, free trips like most people think. You really got to be prepared emotionally
Yes.
and mentally for what you're about to hear, for what you're about to be around, and for what you're about to, the land you're about to be on, that sacred land. So, just being around all that energy, hearing the stories over again, coming up the adult years and being a chaperone this time and having to make sure these kids are listening and they're taking in the knowledge and the stories, it gave me a whole different perspective and a whole different view on how important it is to keep our traditions alive and to keep these stories alive and why we do those events like that. So it was a great one. I'm happy to be back. I'm tired. We'll say that. I'm still adjusting from the time change. And I have my inhaler on me just in case I'm still adjusting. Altitude. Any of those who suffer from asthma, you know what I mean by that. So, but yeah, that whole trip was just a healing and emotional experience for me that I think I really needed in a time I didn't know I needed. So,
Definitely.
So, you know, Maheo puts you in positions like that, like you said.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think one thing that, you know, I've been learning about is the pain that we carry around in our DNA because of those events that happened to our ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Those types of events that happen, you know, to generations before us. But it's been like ingrained into our DNA. You know, so that's just some more of the generational trauma that we carry around. So I think it's great, you know, that we still participate in keeping those stories and memories and, you know, everything that happened there. You know, we keep those things going because we need to know, you know, where we come from and how we're still here.
Yes.
You know, we're part of that 1% that made it. And I think it's very important, you know, that, you know, I always feel like, you know, they've been doing that for some years. I've never had the opportunity, but I know it's just something that it's like on my bucket list, you know, is to make it up there. You know, one good thing that I did whenever I was in Montana was I got to go to the Little Bighorn battlefield.
Oh, wow.
You know, and see them graves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I probably took some, you know, not so great photos, you know? But at the same time, you know, I got to educate some people that were there. You know, they I want to say they probably glorified, you know, the men from 7th Cavalry, you know, until they ran into me, and I was like, no, this is what really happened.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and we have the stories that ain't going to be in no school book. You know, they're not going to tell these stories in school. You know, with the actual events that happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they started asking how he died. You know, and I'm like, our women got him. You know, like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know how glorious somebody could make that. You know, but you know, we still got them stories.
Yes.
And I'm just happy that, you know, we get to tell them today because, you know, that's just who we are today. So
Awesome. Yeah. Way to put that in big old word salad. I love that.
But yeah, well, should we just jump off into it?
Do you want to say good morning to everybody? Because you had everybody. You didn't say it at all. That's weird.
I didn't say it at all. Well,
Uh-huh.
actually, because I can't read it
Oh.
today.
He was excited to see me. So.
My vision is tore up today.
Well, you got Norman, Byron, Allen.
Good morning, Norman, Byron,
Morning.
Allen, Brother Norman.
Is
Norman Bushian? I mean, Sheridan.
Sheridan.
I don't know how to say that name. Something with Shay. Terry, Natalie,
Terry, Nat,
Patrice.
Yes.
Phyllis.
Yeah,
Phyllis
Phyllis the
the
Realist.
Realist.
Joanne,
Good morning, Joanne.
Pamela,
Nene,
Augie,
Oggs,
Julia, Tobias,
Julia.
Dylan.
Oh,
Good morning, and yeah, what's up, Dylan?
What's up,
Wow.
Dip?
Yeah. Alex Dean, Sonia White, Skunk.
Alex Dean, Miss White Skunk. Good morning out there in California.
All right.
Well,
Now we can.
good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day. Glad y'all can tune in.
October 22nd.
October 22nd. Today's elder meditation is Growth is a Painful Process by Wilma Mankiller, Cherokee. And fun fact I just pointed out, did y'all know that Wilma Mankiller is on a quarter? I just found one recently.
Awesome. Really?
Yeah.
You seen one?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
So shout out to her. So here we go. Dive right into it. Whenever we grow, we usually need to let go of emotional attachments. Letting go can be painful. Sometimes growth allows us to deal with fear. All fear can fit into two categories. One, we're going to lose something we have. And two, we're not going to get something we want. Both of these categories can cause pain. The best way to grow is to pray to the Great Spirit and ask Him to guide and protect us. All growth is guided by God. And today I intend to focus on my Creator, my guide, my growth today, and give me your love and courage to help my pain. Wow. Growth, man. This one we can go right into it. Yeah, so that hits personal to me today just because, you know, we just talked about this trip, right? And before I got to go to Sand Creek, I went to OU, Texas with Connor, and that's the first time I've gone with my mom since my mom passed away back in 2021. And that was like me and my mom's tradition, was going to OU games, going to OU, Texas every year. We would always be in the middle of stressful work hours or stressful work times, but we'd always make time to do that. So finally being able to go out and do that with my sister and experience that with her, I kind of felt like I was passing on something finally. Like I was able to go back to something that have grown from. You know, I was scared to go to because I didn't want to bring back up all the emotions and all the feelings that I got whenever I did go with mom, which I still felt those, but also with my sister at the same time too. So I think growing in that sense of just going back to the places where that they would help shape you and help you form you as a person. And going back there with my sister now in a new time where I'm healed and I'm here and I'm able to finally allow myself to be present in the moment and not being scared of feelings no more. I'm able to go into these spaces now. And that's kind of what led me up to what you discussed about, like me sharing my story, and all that plays a part into how I express and how I connect with people. Growth is a big part of that, and part of the testimony and a lot of other things I share at our events and all the different speaking engagements I be at. So yeah, that meditation hit me deep right there. Almost choked up reading it.
Thank you. Thank you, nephew.
Uncle.
You know, when I read it this morning, you know, a flood of emotions, you know, started coming out because I think about where I was. I think about who I used to be. And when I felt, you know, like it says, change is painful. You know, growth, that growth, you know, I was running from that, you know. I didn't know how to deal with that. I didn't know who to turn to. I didn't think nobody understood. And I remember something that my kid's mother told me before she passed away is we were talking about changing, you know, trying to get sober for the kids and, you know, trying to do what was right by them. And she told me, you know, nothing grows without the rain. You know, and I didn't take it for what it was worth at the time. You know, I guess I just didn't have the understanding that, you know, I needed to have to understand what she was trying to say. But it came to the point where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I knew that there had to be something better out there. I didn't have nobody around me that held me accountable. I didn't have nobody around me that could say, hey, you should probably take a look at what you're doing. And, there's got to be something better out there, a better way of going about, whatever you're doing. That change had to come from within. I remember coming to the point where I started praying like, please, God, if you're going to take me, please take me. That's how desperate I got. Like, Creator, like, please, like, I don't want to suffer no more. I'm tired of, sick and tired of being sick and tired. If you're going to take me, then just take me. I'm ready. But then at the end, it's like, there's still, this part of me that says, but if you're going to give me a chance, if you just give me a chance, I promise I'm going to make the most of it. And what that helped me realize was that I wasn't afraid of death. I wasn't afraid of dying. That's one thing that's for sure that you can say about just about every addict, is that we're not afraid of dying. What we're afraid of is living. And somehow, some way, I don't know, if somebody said the right prayer, I don't think I had the ability to pray, to ask for the things that started happening for me. Somebody said the right thing that allowed me to find a better way. And it started with the accountability of myself. Was I willing to face who I was and do something about it? So what that came down to was this accountability started coming into play. And like it says, it was painful because, I started looking at what I did to my kids, what I did to my family, the shame and guilt that came over me every time the simplest problem would come up in my life. It was just another reason to use. And that became my go-to, that became my cure-all, was just forget about it and go get numb. And then you won't have to worry about anything, but as we all know, that's just a temporary solution, and what I found was getting into recovery, getting into sobriety. It's got to start with sobriety first. You got to get into sobriety first before you get into recovery. And like they, like the name itself is kind of self-explanatory. You start to recover these things after you put in the work. You got to look at who you used to be. Why do you keep turning to these things? Why is that a solution? When the problem still stays there. If anything, you just start building up all these like it starts stacking up, and then before you know it, it becomes too much for a person to handle, and then they just want to stay completely high and drunk all the time. Well, that was my case, but once I got into Alcoholics Anonymous, once I got into paying attention at rehab, like we have a facilitator coming in. I was the type of client that everyone would start joking around. Everyone would start clowning around because, it's a room full of class clowns, and I would, I would be like, hey, I need this. I really, really need this group today because I'm not willing to go back to the way that I was living because I was thinking about dying every day. So to have like that kind of, that's kind of self-drive, that kind of motivation to realize that this was all an inside job. Nobody else could fix me. They could help me. I didn't have to do it by myself, but nobody else had the ability to know what I was going through. That's whenever I found my higher power. I started giving up, my will, and asked the Creator to put His will into my life every day. But this growing process, it does not stop. I still do what I did in the beginning, and I'm still learning. I'm still trying to find a way. I'm far from perfect. I don't have the greatest life, but what I do have is, a simple life. I can honestly say that I have a simple life today. I don't have these super high highs. I don't have these super low lows. I kind of take, I live life on life's terms now. And I got that through the ability to connect with the creator. I got that through the ability to be accountable for whenever I'm wrong. And I can see the interconnectedness of everything that's happened to me in my life. All the trauma that I've been through, I can see today where I can use that to help the next addict who's coming up behind me. And I love the fact that I have that clarity today. I have the opportunity to help another human being. And, if I've learned anything, I've learned that love always wins. No matter what, love always wins. So, it was a painful process. There's still things that come up, that maybe I missed. Maybe they always say you're only as sick as your secrets, and so I feel like, maybe something will come up and there's somebody that I have to talk to about these things. I have to go through my timeline. I got to bring up my, my list of, all my defects. And sometimes I got to keep adding to it, but I understand now that that's just part of my process, and I don't know, it's like a beautiful thing today, because I get to be a grandpa today, I get to be an uncle, and I remember one time my cousin Sonny, my sister Sonny, she asked me, she was like, why do my kids love you so much? Why do all my kids, Ivana, Eli, Ethan, Junebug, Xavier, Sasha, why do my kids love you so much? And the only thing that came to mind was her dad, my Uncle Robert. I said, he showed me how to be an uncle. You know what I mean? Like he showed me how to be the best uncle.
Wow.
So whenever I told her that, she was just amazed by that answer because she knew I was right. I get to share those types of things with people that I love today. And for that, I'm very grateful. So,
can I hit one of these?
Yeah, hit all of them.
What Carlula?
Mingo said Tupac changes. I read that right when you were talking. I had to turn around.
I wanted to laugh when I saw it.
Just Mingo's wise words. Wise words.
Barry started going off though.
Yeah, I know.
But that's cool you brought that up, the role, how you learn it from your uncles, and my uncles growing up both sides, Uncle Charles, and then my blackout side was Richard, Donnie, Charlie.
Yeah, the whole
gang of them.
Yeah.
I grew up knowing all them, and I lost all them, year after year after year, and it took me forever to heal from that. And I felt like going through life, that's when I had to step up and be the uncle to my nieces and nephews at that point. And it happens no matter what age. I had to start doing that in my 20s. I had to start being an adult where you started worrying about okay, there's actually younger kids in my family who are watching me. Yeah. And who are seeing how I respond to, tragedy, or seeing how I deal with my emotions and my feelings. And it brings on a whole new perspective whenever you're suffering from addiction, or whether you're not, or whether you're worried about stigma with mental health and you don't want to be seen as weak. And you add that on top of all the other stuff you're already dealing with, it can be easy. You can easily fall into a deep, dark place, which we both know about. Yeah. Trying to live up to those pressures, and trying to be a good role model for your family, while also trying to lean on the teachings and all the stuff you learned throughout your life. So thank you for that. You know, like I said, I'm older now, so I don't really have that many adults. I'm the adult now in my
Yeah.
family.
Yeah, I know what you
I just
mean.
turned 30 this year, but now I have to be the uncle. I have to be the older one telling these kids, make sure, hey, you guys, you know, you're supposed to listen to this, or hey, you know, calm down, sit down.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're serving that role for me, whether you know or not, on this live all the time. Like you said, I call you uncle. I say, this is uncle here. He knows what he's doing. He's healing people. You know, he's rewriting that narrative that native men like holding their feeling and their pain in, like whether he knows it or not. So I just acknowledge it and I hype you every chance I get.
Yeah, you do.
I know, because I don't think a lot of people do it for you. No.
Yeah, guys.
Barry does it himself. We don't want to fluff up his ego.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a website soon.
Yes. Barry Boat.
Yeah. Barry Boat After Dark. Yeah.
Uncle Barry,
Yeah.
UncleBarry.com.
Yeah.
Should we jump off into these? Do we have any good comments? I can't
You're a rugged Auntie Corinne.
see. Oh,
She-
Rugged Auntie.
My career.
Carrie,
Dear
Jesse,
Hey, Jesse.
And Jesse.
Chad, and then
Chad
Mingo
Boy.
Bruce, just with his Tupac changes comment.
Domingo was.
Right, I have to listen to it.
Yeah, I know. Be our
Trying to see what he
outro.
We don't even have any background music.
Yeah.
Right? No, we're all
Yeah.
we're the healing music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you
Yeah.
need.
Boo bags.
Boo bags. Scan the QR code right here. Maybe your boo is boo boo, and you know you need to protect yourself. You know.
Yeah.
Boo bags. You know we.
I ain't gonna do it.
You got Narcan, condoms, emergency contraceptives, Plan
Toothbrush.
B's. I mean, a toothbrush, toothpaste.
Brush your teeth.
Yeah, you know, maybe you wake up and with your boo and your breath is boo boo. You know, you never know. You know, but we will mail all these products to you for free. We're kind of on hold with like some of our harm reduction. You know, we'll straighten that out.
Hopefully
But
soon.
hopefully soon. But yeah, take advantage. I mean, we will mail these products to you for free. And then shout out to Brand Logics. Text TOR TOR to 888-580-4TOR. And it gets all our updates on the Gourd Clan, on our meetings. I mean, it'll give you like a daily update about what we got going on. So shout out to Brand Logics.
Zumba and yoga tonight.
And then Zumba tonight with the lovely Miss Courtney Reader. Courtney
And
White
then
Man
and Domingo Reader.
and Domingo Reader. You know, it starts at 6. You know, yoga follows from 7 to 7:30. You know, they're a great couple, man. You know, we tease them a lot, but you know, they really like to get out in the community, and you know, they're worried about people's health. So shout out to the Reader family.
Elder Spooky Night on the 25th.
Spooky night
Or on
on
Friday.
October 25th in Hammond at the ERC from 3 to 6, right? A meal will be provided
By Rib Crib.
by Rib Crib, and we're gonna go do our podcast day, kind of
Connor's
like
gonna
we
be
did for the Halloween carnival in Clinton. So I mean, it worked out great for us.
No, yeah.
You know, we had people jumping in and out, but you know, it just worked out great. And to think that we could have some elders come on, I mean, and share, you know, just drop their mixtape or whatever, you know, I think it would be great, you know. But you know, a lot of knowledge in our elders. So to get them together and just allow them a space to talk about whatever they want to talk about, you know, whatever's on their mind, whatever's on their heart, you know, to be able to document these things, I think is very important. So their family can look, you know, later down the road, you know, and see what they were able to share with us.
Saturday.
Saturday in Watonga, the Shine Arapahoe Labor Day Committee is having their first benefit dance, the Halloween Masquerade in Watonga. So we are the
Host Gourd Clan.
host Gourd Clan, which we're very honored, very, very glad we are able to, get in that circle. And, if you're not sure or you want to come dance, we invite everybody and anybody to come and join us. We always bring extra gourds. We always got extra shawls. You don't have to be in recovery, but, that's what we like to highlight. We're just trying to get that stigma. We're trying to beat the stigma about, people coming back to the circle and about just recovery in general. So this Saturday, we will be in Watonga shaking some gourds.
Mm-hmm. Starhawks powwow this weekend.
And then Starhawk, they start on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a two-day powwow at the Respect Gym here in Concho, Oklahoma. I said here in Concho, Oklahoma. Starhawk's been around for generations, and they're always very supportive of what we do over here. So, we're just trying to send the love back. If you can't make it to Watonga, go out to Concho and check them out. I mean, they're doing, great things in our community. So we just, those are all the bros too. Those are all the bros. I mean, I love seeing them getting out there and getting it. So I don't know if they want to battle, but you know how it goes.
Yeah. All right. Next Saturday, our dance.
And then not this Saturday, but next Saturday, November 2nd, All Nations Recovery Gourd Clan is going to be having another benefit dance. Culture is the solution. That's another thing that we try to focus on is the culture, and maybe introducing somebody to the circle or bringing them back to the circle in a good way. We think it's very important that we keep showing the community that recovery is possible and the opposite of addiction is connection. Just like my shirt says. So, we try to we want to show our
Harm
community,
reduction man coming out.
that
Yeah.
we're willing
glasses
to
off.
get up there and show the community that recovery is possible. So November 2nd at
Clinton.
Clinton.
Come win TVs, theater boxes, whatever you want.
Yeah, we if we got a TV, a good 58-inch. We got some cedar boxes that are going to be in the raffle. So
That's on YouTube.
Pendletons.
come
Yeah.
and support.
Yeah, one of them's not there.
From our
That one's
past
giveaway.
experiences, I mean, we've always had a packed house. So it's always been a good turnout. We plan on having plenty of food this time.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think we got to worry about if we're going to get a plate or not this time. So,
Bring peanut butter and jellies again.
Okay, second.
and
Yeah.
then November 9th, they're having a memorial dance for Tony Pawnee. That's Isaac Rhodes' mother-in-law, and he always showed us a lot of support. So we felt like it was very important that we, show that same sort of support back to the family. So that'll be in Clinton, November 9th.
Mhm.
So come out and check them out.
November 13th, powwow class.
November 13th with my rugged auntie, dear woman herself, Corinne Morton. That I heard they had a great turnout at their last dance class, which is great because like we can't preach that enough. Culture is the solution. So if you want to get your your grandkids out there, your niece, your nephew, or maybe even you want to learn, I mean, it would be a great opportunity to see these different styles. My Corinne can guide you on how to, get some regalia together. I mean, I think it's a great thing that she's doing. So shout out to my rugged auntie, dear one.
I'm gonna add to that too, just because for that particular November 13th, we met with Corinne, our prevention programs, and we let her know that basically what she's doing in our communities falls right in line with what our whole mission of our prevention programs, which is culture is prevention. And the way she's going about it, just being open and welcoming to the community and to our tribal members. Because as someone who grew up, not dancing,
Yeah.
My family didn't really put a focus on all that stuff growing up. So now that in my older years, and this, whenever I met with Corinne and Phyllis, to talk about this and how we can partner together and make this a good event and help them out with what they're trying to do. It was great just to hear them say it. It was like, it doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter how long you've been without this, or how long you've been wanting to go, or how long you've been living on without this. This is for you to come to. These things is for everyone to come to. So I was like, you mean I could still be a fancy grass dancer or something?
2025 champion.
There's start going. I've always wanted to. Like, they're like,
Yeah, definitely.
like for her to even like, as a 30-year-old man, just to put that excitement in me to like even come learn that, it was part of it. I healed the inner child in me who always wanted to do that, you know. And
Definitely.
I just wanted to commend her for what she's doing and how how she was able to do it with her planning into it, with the budget model she gave us, with the letter. Like, she's kind of down to a T and how she is getting her support. So, and we're just trying to partner with her so we can help her out, because that is something that needs to be acknowledged, needs to be put out there, and needs to be continue to be supported, because we let her know how real it is right now, especially with our programs and our prevention programs, how all this money for the stuff that we do is all grant funded, right?
Yeah.
And it all comes from the federal government. Let's say one year, the federal government decides to cut us off, and we can't do this stuff no more. People like Corinne are basically the reason why we do this. You know, they create that community awareness and create the people in our own communities to keep it going, to inspire people to do it. And so once again, Corinne, just want to thank you. I'm not going to call you my rugged auntie, like Barry.
Be your rugged auntie,
but you can be my new auntie. I'll say that. Yeah, I just wanted to throw that there about this, and I am working on the new flyer. I will get that to you ASAP.
I love you, auntie.
Kendricks is watching. He heard your call out.
Yeah, about battling him.
All right, you trying to battle?
Who's
Yeah.
Hostile.
Hostiles versus Barry?
Yeah.
What else you got?
All right. Weatherford Jom.
Weatherford JOM. November 23rd at the Weatherford Middle School. The JOM program has put together a is it like a kids powwow?
Youth Power, yeah.
Youth powwow. Which falls in line with what we just been talking about. Very important. I think that community that's like every community needs that. That youth powwow, give them kids an opportunity to get out in that circle, and like we were saying, culture is prevention. Culture is the solution. So November 23rd, in the Weatherford Middle School, if you're not busy, you're not too busy, not doing much, go and check them out. We plan to go support Terry Lindsay.
Yes.
He does another gentleman who does great work in our communities. He spends a lot of time with our kids, and he's doing a great job. So we're gonna go support him.
Yeah, he is the honored educator.
Yes, the honored educator. So I think
shout out
that's
to Terry.
Yeah. Shout out Mr. Lindsay. Stongo.
Yep, helping you, saving these kids.
All right. Circle of Giving.
Circle of Giving, December 7th.
Don't worry,
at
Zach. He'll
the
end soon.
Gary ERC at the Kid Miles ERC in Gary, Oklahoma, G-Town. It's not your traditional benefit dance. We ask that people bring a $10 toy, and you will be entered in a raffle for a TV and some cedar boxes, and
Just other stuff.
there'll be plenty of other things, but those are like our main things. And it's about helping out the kids that have been affected by addiction. I think it's a great idea, because I at one time was one of those kids. So I know a bunch of kids that have been affected, and I think it's a great idea to let the community know, like, that we have not forgot about them. Just like their parents, they probably suffer in silence. So I think it's a great idea. That'll be December 7th in Gary, Oklahoma. we just ask that people come out and support. It's very important. Okay, we had Mending Mondays last night. That is my favorite meeting out of all the White Bison meetings that we have. Mending Mondays, I get the most out of. I mean, I encourage anybody and everybody. Everybody deals with grief. Unfortunately, one thing that my dad used to say is nothing in life is certain except death. So we've all had to look at this thing, and what I like about the Mending Mondays is it gives you a healthy way to look at, just to even look at, it makes you think out of the box and realize that there is a good way of going about this. They don't want to call it a process. They don't want to put it in a box and call it a process. But it gives you some key points to help you through your grief. And I get the most out of these meetings. And they can carry on. I'm not going to lie. They can probably carry on over an hour. But we give everybody an opportunity to share about what we learned that day. So Mending Mondays, I love that meeting. And then Tuesday nights in Clinton at 721 Frisco Ave in Clinton, Oklahoma, at the library, the public library downtown. Tonight they're going to be having a talking circle with Mackenzie. She's doing good work out there. And then Thursday nights here at 1950 South Shepherd, right downstairs, we have a talking circle. We usually have probably about 30 people every Thursday. And they're great meetings too. But here at 1950 South Shepherd, all these meetings start at 7:00. The Mending Mondays, the one in Clinton, here on Thursdays, and then on Friday nights we have a 12-step meeting that gets a little bit more in depth into the Wellbriety book, a little bit more action where you put pen to paper and you go through your steps, which is where I found my freedom, is working a 12-step program. So, shout out to Mr. Dave Levi. Since he's been home, man, he's been putting in the work. So, big shout out to my brother Dave.
They're real inspiring to see him.
Definitely.
Our star child.
What else you got?
I got one event that happened.
Yeah.
Oh, what is it?
We got tomorrow the 9/8 Travel Response Program, partnering with Pathways, and you guys can come too if you want. I don't know.
Oh, and Kingfish.
Yeah, we're gonna be. Oh, you're cooking. See, he knows. So we're doing a Halloween zombie walk tomorrow at the Kingfisher Park Pavilion, which is right next to the Bernie Snow Aquatic Center. I had to say that specifically, make sure I said that right.
I have that.
And it's going to start from 6 to 8. So we'll be in Kingfisher, Oklahoma tomorrow. So y'all be sure, all you Kingfisher people.
Hold on, I'm trying to find the flyer.
If
You're still live. You're still live. Don't worry.
Sorry. But yeah, be sure to come out there. Pathways is partnering with us. We're partnering with Barry. Will be on the grill.
The ones and twos.
We'll be up there. And yeah, we're just trying to put in events all around our communities for Halloween. We're trying to hit each different one so everybody can come celebrate, come dressed up in their Halloween costumes, or whatever it is. You can get your face, you can paint your face and come up there. Activities we're going to be doing a costume walk. There's a youth costume contest for 12 and under, scary storytelling and mental health resources, door prizes, and more. And in case if there is bad weather, because I know that's been happening here lately, we will relocate to the Kingfisher ERC, which is like the nicest ERC.
I know, right?
It's the tiniest one.
That's the
Though.
tiniest one.
Tiny, but they
has-
keep it clean. They keep it clean.
Right? The bathrooms are nice. I know that.
That's all they had.
Yeah.
Right?
Nicest bathrooms in all of Kingfisher.
I just now realized we didn't have our estates going today.
Mm-mm.
Your
No
music?
flute music.
Because we are the aesthetic.
Yeah.
yeah.
You had this whole conversation in the middle of the live.
Carmelo kept saying that.
Yeah,
Where's your music?
yeah.
Just kept-
The microphone's canceled out anyway. You can't even hear it.
It's all right. You can hear me breathing.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah, they heard us. They heard us last. Yeah. Oh
I
God.
started that conversation the other day. I said, "Remember Cheech and Chong when they're in the police station and he grabs the
Yeah.
mic and he's like, because we could hear ourselves
Yeah.
breathing into the mic."
Sound like Darth Vader.
Mhm.
Well, is that the only event you got coming up?
Only one I can see so far, other than the Elders Night, that's the one we're really happy to do in Hammond. Let me look through my calendar real quick.
Mhm. We're gonna have to have commercial breaks soon.
Yeah, we're gonna have
All right, yeah, we have commercial break for our sponsor.
anybody else?
Yeah.
Any good comments coming up?
We'll be at the Indian Expo Parade, October 30th in Anadarko.
October 30th.
Breast Cancer Awareness Walk. There we go. It's tomorrow at Concho. Our coordinator Rosie has been partnering with CHRs and going around different communities, 2 communities in one day, from 10 to 1 or 10 to 12, and then 1 to 3, doing breast cancer wellness walks all around. And tomorrow we'll be in Concho from 11 to 1. So come get a good walk in.
Are they gonna have Belinda's?
her messed up sign?
I am the
love, I am strength. I am surviving.
I thought she was like doing like a res or something. And she told me about that. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, we're she's never gonna live that.
Don't let that go.
Yeah.
Just painting it for 3 days.
Surviving. But yeah, come check out the breast cancer walk. Then on the 30th, we're gonna be at the Indian Expo
Parade in Anadarko.
in Dodge. So we will be down there. Hope we get to see KDAP. Shout out to my bros KDAP down there in Dodge, doing great work.
Our princess will be in the Swasu Parade
Princess
this
is going to
Saturday.
be in the Swasu Parade this Saturday. Man, she's been doing like a great
I know.
job.
We're getting
representing us.
We're
Like,
getting a banner for her.
yeah, we're getting a banner. It's not going to say "I am Survivor."
yeah.
I am Princess.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I,
Yeah, we're gonna
princess.
let Belinda make it. I am Princess.
Hey, you should keep that going.
Yeah, definitely.
Good marketing.
The next bracelet. Yeah.
Hardest bracelet. I am surviving.
I think she just created something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with that, I think that we've been on here long enough. You know, I can BS all day long. So,
Right, this is not long enough.
well, thank you, Mr. Black Owl, for joining us today. It's always a pleasure.
Yep.
You're always welcome to come back whenever you want. I mean, even if Domingo's here. I mean, he'll.
Yeah, he's right there. Yeah.
Right, where's the oh?
Here's Domingo right here. We got Domingo. Right. You were here. Like,
What have you done this whole time?
What?
Yeah, anytime just replace, I'll just replace Domingo.
Yeah. I can already hear. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, I can already hear.
He commented earlier when you were talking about Domingo Reader. He just
Yeah,
put.
Tupac
He
changes.
just-
That's why he said Tupac.
We better get off here. Well, we appreciate everybody that tunes in. Always a pleasure. You know, I look forward to doing this every day. You know, it's just part of my day, and I love it. So, thank you again, Mr. Blackout, Neff, for coming on. You know, hope to have you back soon. And with that, I'm gonna say, I hope.